Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendos, and Larson, and
your pal Cal's here.
We got Cal Jack here, joining me for our review of All Elite Wrestling's Fyter Fest. That's what it's called, yeah.
Yep, Fyter Fest.
Yeah. You can find Steven Larson on YouTube, of course, youtube.com/Steven Larson. Also on the Patreon, patreon.com/Steven Larson. Cal, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter at Cal, KL_JK_. Yeah. But you know why it's spelled the way it's spelled? There's no C's in Cal Jack. You know why there's no C's? We're not average. Nobody's average. We're not average. We're not C average. So it's KL_JK. Same with my Pro Wrestling Tees shop. ProWrestlingTees.com/CalJack, KLJK.
Thank you, Cal. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me here.
So thank you for joining us. This is so of course, for those who are unaware, Steve's going to be on vacation for the next 3 weeks. Cal will be joining us for the next 2. And the third week, kind of have like a best of retrospective type deal.
Yeah, that's stuff that you guys kind of already did.
Yeah, we have all that all shot already.
You know, I was willing to do another week.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. I was going to tell all those kids at that camp I was going to go to, be like, you know what, kids? I don't care about you. This is more important. Steven Larson mean more to me than you little brats. But you know what? You guys already did everything, so now I got to do this kids camp.
Well, then you're crushing the souls of those poor kids.
You know, they need to learn. They need to learn to have their feelings hurt. Yeah, it's tough love.
Okay, well,
it's tough.
You're a giant bear man. I won't argue with
Bear man.
No, I won't argue with Bear man. All right, nonetheless, we're here to talk about Fyter Fest. We just watched the whole show, top to bottom. Your initial thoughts?
It was good.
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. I haven't watched a pay-per-view like all the way through in a long time, and like a lot of, I'm not sure how many of the friendos do this, but I like to watch the highlights and then you guys pick up the pieces for me. So for me to watch a pay-per-view the whole way through, it's been a good while. So being able to sit and watch and kind of interact with the friendos and watch the whole thing, I kind of have more of a positive view on just how that went. You know, if I would just watch the highlights and hear you guys talk, I don't know how I would have felt about it because it wouldn't really been my opinion. But that I got to sit and watch the whole thing through, I really enjoyed it. It was really good.
Now, I didn't watch the televised version of Double or Nothing. How does this, in terms of the TV presentation, commentary, how does this stack up?
So a lot of the little things that people were having issues with were how was the commentary? Did the commentary guys get along very well? Were they able to like mesh well? I couldn't really tell because we're listening to headphones
earbuds,
and I have these big dumb cauliflower ears, so I can't really pick up a lot of things with those type of headphones. But as far as like a presentation go, I wouldn't with that Double or Nothing, you have that big fight feel. And there was just so many things in that show that made it really big. This one was a lot smaller version of that, obviously.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if this is kind of like a trial run for their weekly television, because that's the vibe I kind of got.
Yeah, that's kind of a good one. Because how long was it total?
It's about 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Pre-show. So it's like a longer-ish episode that they're probably going to have in October when they start running. But as a whole, it was good. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a great, like, they hit a home run by any means, but it was a good, solid show.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable show.
Yeah.
There was a couple production issues as far as, and this is completely just minor details.
Yeah.
Cameras not picking up the action in the ring, or spots happening, or cutting the cameras that are doing this. But again, minor things, and
they're a young company, and that's stuff that like. Because all those camera guys in WWE, they're able to like pick up the pace. They know where to stand at everything. They just have natural habits for that.
Yeah.
But for all the elite guys who they hired, they're going to have to get used to where they position the camera, how they help tell the story with the wrestlers, and how they give commentators more of info.
I don't remember where I heard this, and I could be completely imagining this. But something about back in the WCW days. Like the Time Warner didn't hire Like they didn't have a full-time camera crew like
Really?
like WWE does.
Yeah.
They would just hire people here and there, and so they weren't as acclimated.
Yeah.
I could be imagining that.
That might be true.
I have very vivid dreams.
But that could be true because they might just hire guys straight out of the union or something.
Maybe.
Be like, here, hold this camera, whatever.
Whereas WWE, I'm sure their camera crew's been there.
It's the same guys
years
they've ran forever. They keep the same. It's like they say it's a circus. Mm-hmm. So they keep the same people.
They're on the road all the time.
They're on the road all the time. They just keep the same guys there.
Yeah. So like across the board, I wouldn't say this was as outstanding as Double or Nothing, but then again, Double or Nothing was advertised as pay-per-view quality show.
Yeah.
This did not have that level of hype behind it. It was available for free on Bleacher Report Live, and some friendos in chat mentioned some issues with the app. Ours was pretty seamless. We had one moment of buffering.
That was it. Just one little thing.
So hopefully those of you who had issues with Bleacher Report managed to enjoy enough of the show so it didn't ruin your experience for you. With that said, I agree with you. It's a pretty fun show. Not across the board excellent, but nonetheless still pretty solid. Let's kick things off with the kickoff show, the pre-show, the buy-in. I think that's what they're calling it.
Yep.
Start off with a really solid match, triple threat tag team match. You got your best friends, Trent and Chuck, best Titantron, the whole business, taking on SCU and Private Party. Star-making performance from Private Party here.
They were great. Obviously, these guys are really new.
Mm-hmm.
And just from a pro wrestler standpoint, there's a lot of little things that they did in the match that kind of show that they're new, but their presentation's great.
Yes.
Their athleticism is great. Their look is great. Mm-hmm. Like that, the experience just comes with time. Mm-hmm. And when you're in the ring with Scorpio Sky, and you're in there with Kazarian, and you're in there with Chuck and what's his name?
Chuck and Trent. Yeah,
Chuck and Trent. Those guys have been around forever. So for them, this is a great opportunity for them to see how well they can keep up with guys that have been in it forever. Mm-hmm. And they did it awesome.
Yeah, they kept them wonderfully.
And they kept them really the center point of the whole match. Mm-hmm. So they gave them a lot of opportunity to sell, to shine, to do some of their stuff that they're good at. Mm-hmm. They were awesome.
Yeah. I mean, at the Casino Battle Royale at Double or Nothing, they really had that one awesome spot, the Frankensteiner and the Cutter spot. They did that again here, and then a lot more.
Yeah.
Finish saw Trent pinning, I think his name was Mark Quinn.
Yeah.
After a strong zero from Best Friends, and then of course you got this storyline with the Dark Order having beef. Mm-hmm. With Best Friends. So they show up on the Tron, talk some trash.
Yeah, they said some stuff.
Lights go down. The ring is surrounded by the Dark Order goons.
Yeah, all the goons. One of the guys had a Batman tattoo.
Yeah. So I'm Batman.
When I'm not in the Dark Order, I'm getting these sweet comic bookings.
If you know this by cosplay, it's Batman, but I'm not Dark Order goon. And the lights go down again, and all the goons are gone.
The goons are gone.
So Dark Order's playing mind games with Best Friends.
Yeah.
I don't know if Best Friends are really subject to mind games of this magnitude.
I don't see where personality-wise what they think. Like Trent's like, oh, okay, I guess they're targeting us.
Wow, they can teleport. That's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. If they ever take a picture of us, I'm going to take it and not give them any credit for it.
Hey, Dustin, can we learn how to teleport like these guys?
And not give them any credit for it.
I don't know, Greg. That was an excellent match. Everybody had an opportunity to shine.
It's really good.
It was one of those matches where so much stuff happened. It's hard impossible to take notes.
It's hard with how talented and good everybody is in that. I'm wondering why the pre-show.
I know.
I would have preferred it to been on the main, but
yeah, I mean, I guess in one sense you need to. I understand having one really strong match on the pre-show is a quality. I'm actually more surprised this opened the show.
Yeah.
I would have thought maybe the Michael Nakazawa Alex Jabali match could have opened the show, but then again, if you want to make sure you hook your audience right away,
because you could have put that match anywhere on the card.
Oh, it would have fit in perfectly,
except for the main, but anywhere on the card.
Next, there's a bit where the Young Bucks backstage, they're walking around. There's sit-down interview bits with each of them, both Matt and Nick, and they're kind of complaining about how Kenny Omega has not been using the budget for this show wisely. Mm-hmm. They were expecting top-notch accommodations,
top notch,
the finest of foods, and he's not delivered. They run to him. There's some issues. He says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. However, two of the models who were up on the ramp, fortunately,
so that's what that was. They couldn't afford all the models, so they had to replace them with mannequins.
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't really hear all that.
Yeah,
but
he said budgetary problems.
you know that happens. If you can't hire the runway models, you got to supplement them out with, because it's like the people that do the sign shaking thing.
Yeah.
They took those people out and they have like a mannequin standing there.
That's so creepy.
Yeah, isn't it?
With the motor that does that.
The motor thing that just has it shaking around.
So creepy.
So it's the same concept. You know, that's what they did. They
It's
pulled the old,
yeah.
if we can't sell real estate this way or tell people to go to get their insurance from here,
Yeah.
we supplement with a
we get a mannequin with a motor in it.
So they did
does
the
this.
same exact thing here.
Automation, man. It's killing jobs. After that, librarian Leva Bates joined ringside by librarian Peter Avalon versus Allie. I thought this was supposed to be versus Kylie Ray. I don't know why it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't keep with being the lead as much as I should. There's a bit of a funny spot where Leva comes out, shushes, and then she's looking for Peter Avalon. He's in the tent. So they have a tent, like a Firefest style tent.
It looked. I think it was like a changing room tent, like when we go to the beach and you want to change from one outfit to another. I think that's what that
could
was.
be. They actually had a kind of a funny story in this match a little bit, where early on Allie's working over Leva's shushing finger, and at several points Leva tries to shush and she can't because she's selling finger. But at one point though, Leva puts Allie in a Rings of Saturn and manages to shush her.
And then was able to put her finger against her mouth and make her go shh, you know.
But in the end, Peter Avalon costs Leva Bates the match. He tosses a book that he was carrying out to the ring to Allie, and mistakenly, Allie says, "Here, Leva, take this." Tosses it to her, follows it up directly with a super kick to the face for the win.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool to see that Allie kind of stuck with the video game theme of the show, because she came out with like a katana outfit from Mortal Kombat. Leva, this is like her whole thing about she can do characters. Yeah. She's a character wrestler. Yeah. I don't know how much of the character she's grasped to become the librarian. Because like I've told you before, I know somebody who can do a really good librarian.
Totally, I know.
And for me, she's got a long ways to go if she wants to get this shtick down. So I mean, overall, it was an okay match.
Yeah, I mean, like the story about the finger and stuff. That was entertaining.
Easy little storytelling bit.
After that, we had Kenny backstage. He's walking around with a bunch of musical instruments.
He was a roadie, dude.
Yeah, he was.
Roadie Kenny.
And then Brandon Cutler walks up to him and tells him that all the bands have pulled out of the show because there's no money.
No Slipknot.
No Blink 182.
They couldn't get Blink 182 or Blink 182.
And so they cut, and there's like an empty little side stage off the ramp where there's just the drum kits and bass and guitar setup, but no one to play them.
Well, epic foreshadowing. Kenny was going to play with those instruments later. Leva Bates.
After that, the main event of the kickoff show, pre-show, Michael Nakazawa taking on, I believe, the organizer of the CEO Fight Game Festival Conference, whatever they call it, Alex Jabali. Before the match started, Nakazawa cut a promo talking trash to Alex Jabali. This match was silly. I thoroughly enjoy whenever Michael Nakazawa does the body oil spot.
Yeah.
That's clever, and they utilize it where people were slipping all over around. The ref slipped. He kind of went into a move to slip purposely to hit like a senton on Alex Jabali. It's pretty clever stuff.
It's funny because like right off the bat when Nakazawa came out, first thing I noticed was his trunks. And just like the way that his trunks are set up, I'm like, man, something's going to happen with him, because you're not just going to be like, how? Because it's all threaded on the side. So it's like, what's he wearing? You know, he's not just wearing regular underwear, because you could see it. So I had a feeling that something was going to play an effect with that.
And you were right about that.
And then lo and behold,
you were right.
My little indie instincts kicked in, and I saw that was a factor. But you know, the guy, the CEO, Jabali, you know, for a guy who, you know, what he gets his training from Kenny.
He comported himself okay.
He did okay. Yeah. He did all the things as a rookie. The first moves you do learn a hip toss. You do learn a scoop slam. Strikes and kicks, that comes with a lot of time and experience. So he did everything within his means, and Nakazawa or whatever was able to carry him along the match to make it pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was really silly, but it was entertaining.
It was a good match.
At one point, the Jabali sets up a table ringside at one point, and Nakazawa puts him through it. Puts it back in the ring, goes for the pin, but rather than taking the easy win right then and there, pulls him up.
He's like, no.
Usually a horrible mistake. There was game controllers brought in the ring.
Strangles him with a GameCube controller.
Yeah.
Then starts playing the controller.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was actually.
And then Jabali went ringside, and he had someone that had like a bag of weapons for him because inside was like a fight stick.
Yeah.
Arcade, thing with like 25 buttons and a joystick stuff. That was used. And then at one point, so Nakazawa, as you mentioned, with the tights, pulled his thong out from underneath it.
Does man thong. Banana hammock.
Yeah, it's a really impressive feat. And so he kind of does like almost like a mandible claw thing, puts over his hand.
Mandible claw, a little bit of the Mr. Sacco style, the snake from
Santino. Yeah. Just kind of overpowered Jabali with the stank of his underwear.
But it missed a few times, and then he was able to hook. Jabali was able to hook the underwear around Nakazawa's arm.
Yeah.
Kind of like put him in like a little like arm hold with his own underwear,
which
was
pretty good.
Creative.
And then Jabali hits like a nasty looking German suplex.
Yeah. Oh my God!
Nakazawa right in his head.
Not his head, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know what that was. Nakazawa overjumped that, and he took his own bump on his head.
Yeah, that was rough. That allowed Jabali an opportunity to go in the ring, get some of those giant things you put on your joystick.
Those big buttons.
Yeah, those arcade buttons.
Yeah, arcade buttons.
He dumps a bag of those in the middle of the ring, and then backdrops Nakazawa on him. The finish saw Jabali kick Nakazawa square in the front area. He goes for the cover, however the ref is distracted. Nakazawa reverses and then shoves his thong in Jabali's face.
Yep.
He can't kick out.
Gave him the old stank face undie cover.
Yep.
And he couldn't kick out of that.
Yep. He won. Pre-show ended with a brief Mox promo. I think it was just like, hey, I'm here to have a good time. Aren't we all, John?
Yeah, thank you, John Moxley.
Yes. The main show kicked off with Christopher Daniels, SCU, taking on Shima. This is a good match.
Yeah.
A couple of veterans in the ring. I anticipated Shima picking up the win here because SCU beat Strong Hearts at 0-0. Sure enough, what happened? Shima won with like Daniels was flat in his back in the ring, and then Shima hit like a meteor off the top rope.
Yeah.
It was pretty nasty looking, but there's some fun spots in this.
Yeah. Nothing really sticks too much out for me in this match as far as like notable stuff. I just, Christopher Daniels has been doing this for a long time. He's almost 50.
Yeah.
And he can kind of like I brought that story up earlier with, he's big on presentation, covering your character and your gimmick. He's one of the best at that, like having to do that kind of stuff. But I mean, man, he can carry anyone through a match and do kind of whatever. So
yeah.
But
he was working over Shima's back a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of the story going through it.
Yeah.
But Shima managed to overcome. He gets the win. This next match was a lot of fun. Riho versus Nyla Rose versus Yuka Sakazaki. The finish I thought was a bit surprising.
Yeah, it was like a roll up, and then she hooked her foot, and then that enabled her to kick out.
Yeah, it was almost like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it was like her hooking her foot stacked her up, and then that prevented her from like kicking out.
It was almost like Kofi's SOS, but without necessarily the impact.
Yeah.
On the roll through. Anyways, this was a good highlight match for basically everybody involved. Nyla hit pretty much the Kenta Hideo Itami knee, where she draped Riho.
She jumped off the top rope
and
came in with a big knee.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. And she's a big person, too. So for her to jump off the rope and land, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's really
hard. It was
hard.
super impressive. Later on, she misses a swanton. You called this right when it was happening. Niho jumps off the top rope first. Nyla catches her, and then Yuka follows suit. Nyla catches her too.
Yeah.
But rather than do the double slam, they both counter to a double pin situation. Nyla kicks out.
That was pretty great.
This spot was awesome too, where Nyla hits a nasty powerbomb on Yuka. Niho comes through, breaks up with a Shining Wizard.
Yep.
And then that allows Yuka to reverse into a pin of her own, and Riho to come around and break that up, I think, with a double stomp.
Yeah. She did a lot of double stomps in this match. And she can get away with it as far as like not hurting her opponents because she probably weighs like less than 100 pounds. You got Nyla, who's probably like close to 200. The other girl's like super light. So I kind of was hoping that Nyla was just going to do more like, Beals, more big moves.
Overpower him, yeah.
Overpower him, but it was pretty even across the board.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Nyla did get the upper hand majority of the entire match, but just like seeing the size difference between all that, I kind of expected her to do a lot more as far as like throwing them around.
Yeah.
Because I've been in matches where I'm wrestling little guys. That's all I do.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's something where they can hit a couple counters on me where it eliminates me.
Yeah.
And then you just have the two smaller opponents going at it. It was more just 2-on-1-ish, but I didn't see enough separation between everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of something that like stuck out to me.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing is Niho and Yuka would kind of, whether they wanted to, work in tandem.
Yeah. And then that was the thing that was kind of hard to pick up was when they would do double team stuff on her. When do they eventually say, "Hey, we got to
Now we got to throw."
Now we got to go at it.
Yeah, totally. After the match, Nyla gets up. She lays out Niho, sets her up for a powerbomb, and then Yuka makes the save. Riho and Yuka hit double drop kicks on Nyla, send her out of the ring, but then afterwards Riho pushes Yuka, so they're not friends.
No, they're not friends anymore.
Not friends anymore, not at all. After that, MJF versus Jungle Boy versus Jimmy Havoc versus Hangman Page. Another quality heat generating promo from MJF. And you mentioned this during the stream, is that he hits your typical heel promo tropes.
Yeah.
Calls people nerds, says they live at their mom's house, makes reference to having intercourse with all their mothers, that kind of stuff.
He had a great line where it's like, if I want to see what your lives are like, I can just watch reruns of my 600-pound life on TLC.
Yeah.
That's the thing about MJF is he got more of the fact that like his mic skills are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. He gets his own segment to go out there and cut a promo and get more exposure, which is a lot of things I don't know. Like a lot of guys outside of WWE and all the guys in the indies don't really capitalize on how important it is to have a good promo. And if your promo is good and you can carry on with if your work's good as well, then like MJF, he's talented. He's got weapons in his arsenal. He can talk and he can wrestle. Yeah. And his facials are, they're excellent.
Yeah.
So he's a really talented kid.
Yeah. And he's bulking up a bit too.
Yeah, he looks like he probably weighs like 210. I'm sure he put on like 20 pounds, like you said.
Yeah.
He's gotten a lot bigger.
Yeah, he has since All In for sure. This is at many points a showcase for Jungle Boy, kind of his first real match on a huge stage like this. He's wrestled in APW.
Yeah.
PWG some.
He's in PWG. He does a lot of bar wrestling. He does a lot of bigger indie stuff on the West Coast, but like you said, he hasn't been on a platform like this, and for him to kind of be the highlight of this, fatal 4-way match, especially with guys like MJF, Havoc, and Hangman Page, who's more established than anybody. So to go out there and kind of be the main focal, and like it helped too him coming out with Luchasaurus, being like his muscle on the side. Yeah, no, I'm really happy for Jungle Boy. He did really well in this match.
That spot, that kind of like cannonball spot he did off the corner. They kind of got his boot caught up in the turnbuckle a little bit. That was still super impressive.
Yeah, it was insane. I don't know what he did.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if he has fear in him. Like, it's just some of the stuff that he can do. And I remember, like, there was something on YouTube I watched where it was bar wrestling. It was Jungle Boy, it was David Arquette, and somebody else. And Arquette just goes, "Man, I'm just out there just in awe of what Jungle Boy can do." And I'm like the same way.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Jimmy Havoc took a nasty reverse run. It looked like he ran it right in his head.
Yeah.
But in the end, he ate the pin too. Hangman hit his finisher, and then there's several moments in that match where he and MJF had to stare down. There's still beef between them.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I was advocating to make Hangman All Elite's first champion.
That's what I kind of thought. That's the approach they're going to take. To be honest, after watching this match, I don't think.
No, he's going to get a thing with MJF.
Yeah, I think that's better suited. And like, it'd be cool for him to take on Jericho. That's really good experience for him. But I mean, that's tough to say because there is stuff that he needs to work on to kind of get to that point. And a lot of it's just like you look at Moxley and the way he carries himself in the ring. Yeah. He's there. And just with Hangman, Hangman's great and he's super talented. But
Yeah.
this match, to me, I don't know if he was putting over that knee injury or not, but there wasn't anything that made him stand out above any. Like, to me, Jungle Boy looked like the MJF and Jungle Boy looked great.
Yeah, they were the standouts
They were the two standouts for sure in that match.
For sure.
But, like, obviously for story purposes, Hangman had to win to get momentum into the next show.
Totally into the title match,
Yeah.
And then, I wouldn't be surprised to see MJF screw Hangman.
I
out of the title.
I hope that happens for storytelling purposes.
Yeah, I would not be surprised that happens. After that, an interesting matchup between Darby Allin and Cody. You mentioned this while watching the show that you would kind of hope that Cody would try to wrestle a Darby Allin style match. Instead, we got Darby Allin trying to wrestle a Cody Rhodes style match.
Yep.
Where the smallest thing has larger implications.
Yeah.
For the vast duration of the match, Cody is just overpowering, having his way with Darby Allin. Tide kind of turns a little bit when Darby has the upper hand and slams Cody's left hand against the ring post. And so the rest of the match, Cody's like, I can't use my left hand, basically.
Yeah.
They made a hand a really important aspect of the story being told.
Crippling the bigger guy so he couldn't immobilize the smaller guy as much.
And, gosh, I don't know how Darby Allin got up from this. So Cody's on the apron. Darby Allin goes to the top. He dives backwards and eats the corner of the apron.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Ow.
Oh, that looked it. I think Darby can get away with that stuff because he doesn't weigh that much.
Yeah, he's light.
He's light, but like if you're a big guy, if you're Cody taking that, you're jacked up.
Yeah.
That's just so much weight hitting that, and like that's like they all say that's the hardest part of the ring, that apron. So that kid just going whap down, that looked horrible.
That looked bad.
Looked painful.
Failed to mention earlier on that Darby Allin walked down to the ring with a body bag that I think had Cody 11 on it.
Yeah, so Cody 11 on
Yeah.
it.
So shortly after that trust fall type spot, the body bag set in the corner, like in the ring the entire match.
That's the thing, and they're working around
it,
the whole time, and that kind of something happened where it got that way, and you can see Darby's being really mindful of when he's selling, Cody's working him, that they can't go in that corner because of that spot. And I think and I know the ref Aubrey, if they ran that spot with her, she could have moved it back.
Yeah.
But I think she's too focused on what was going on in that match that she wasn't mindful enough to do that. And that's like, like the camera work needs to be worked on. I think for her as a ref, that's something that she needs to be mindful of too, is like when guys have certain things set up, how do you make sure that you can set it somewhere where you don't jeopardize the spot, but you don't jeopardize a spot in the ring?
So
you don't take anything away.
Yeah, they eliminated that entire corner out of the match.
And that whole corner they couldn't use because of that one particular reason.
So Cody has Darby more or less incapacitated, and he starts putting him in this body bag. And then he lifts him up, hits a disaster kick, and then he takes Darby out and goes for cover. Darby kicks out. And the whole idea is that Darby just takes everything Cody gives him and just keeps coming bouncing back, essentially. Like
obviously, it was the story of he can't keep this little guy down.
Yeah.
And even in a body bag, he couldn't get him down.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a different – because, like, what I don't understand is, like, you have this match with Darby Allin, but you just had this, like, 5-star epic storytelling match with your brother.
I know.
But then you go from that to this Darby Allin match, and I'm kind of confused on what the presentation, not the presentation, but like what the goal is. Where are they trying to go to? What's the interpretation of this match? Like, where are you guys trying to lead it
long
to?
term,
Like, I don't really know. And it's cool 'cause it ended in like the match timed out, which, obviously that's super old school. That's kind of harboring back to the Crockett days.
Yeah.
So it's different, but what's the payoff with Darby Allin? Because I don't know enough about Darby Allin AEW character wise. I would have liked to seen Darby in that Fatal 4-Way match instead of like Hangman.
Yeah.
Just to kind of see all those guys go at it. Just to have a better idea.
Something more in Darby Allin's element.
That's
Totally.
exactly, because Darby Allin is fast paced. He's a high flying guy.
Yeah.
He's very smooth with transitions.
Yeah.
And that's what he's known for. But when you ground him, you just kind of beat him up, and
You didn't really see a whole lot of that.
You didn't really see a whole lot of what he can really actually do.
There was flashes here and there, like he hit this cool kind of stunner type move, And then the finish, as you mentioned, saw Darby doing that. Cody, shortly after, hit Crossroads, crawls over the cover, and time limit expires right as the ref counts 2. Her hand goes down for 2.
Yeah.
And then Shawn Spears runs down the ring. So I guess I wondered, in terms of Cody, this match, storyline-wise, long-term, may not have much to do with the feud between him and Darby Allin.
Yeah.
It's to establish Darby Allin as a guy you can't keep down. All right, he can move on to off from Cody now because Shawn Spears comes to the equation and absolutely destroys Cody Rhodes' head with an unprotected chair shot to the dome.
That looked because first time we saw it, it's a blood capsule. They show another replay of it. Okay, where's he hitting him? Hit him in the top of the head. Do another replay. Hit him in the side of the head.
Right here, yeah.
Hit him another replay. He hit him right. Cody turned his head away from when he hit, and it clocked him right in the back of the head.
And no hands.
No hands. Just straight.
Completely unprotected.
Attitude era chair shot.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Oh, my God.
Because it wasn't like Shawn Spears went easy on it.
No, and Shawn didn't sell like he felt bad. His face was just stone cold. Like he did not.
Cody said something to him before he swung. And I would be curious to know what that is.
He probably said, all in.
Yeah, he probably says, give it to me.
Give it to me. Come on, do it. I want you to do it.
Do it. You know what I want. Give me what I want. So Shawn Spears destroys Cody with the chair shot to the head. It was nasty. Busts him open. And then MJF, who fashions himself as Cody's kind of protege, runs down. Brandon Cutler and then Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian all run down to check on Cody.
That kind of showed that's the AEW group that Cody's running with. He's not running with the elite guys. That's all. That's Kenny, the Bucks. Now you can see Cody's got his own little group with MJF and the SCU guys.
Yeah,
that's interesting because when you and I were talking to the show, we're like, one of the friend of his asked is like, what is Cody?
Heel or face?
He's a heel or face, and it's like, no, Cody's just Cody.
It's Cody,
but when you see those guys at his aid. And he does do a lot of heelish tendencies when he has Brandy on the ringside. I guess Cody, looking like an 80s dickhead.
Yeah.
He's going more. I think that's more of where he's.
He definitely looks like Bully from 80 Teen Comedy.
Yeah.
So they come out and check on him. They help him to the back. And commentary really pushes the idea of, will this, like Excalibur saying, I hope there's a concussion protocol here in AEW. And they're really pushing the idea that attack could preclude Cody from taking part in his match at Fight for the Fallen. He and Dustin teaming up against the Young Bucks.
Yeah, that's the thing. That kind of answers my question earlier. Like, what was the goal of this match? Like, what was the end of being this match? Darby, Cody. Okay, ends in a count. So that gives Darby is a legit fighter. It takes a lot to get this kid down, and ends in a count out.
Nobody has to take a pin.
So, no one took a pin, so no one really. It kind of lessened Cody's stock, just especially after the match. But then you kind of forget about with Shawn Spears coming in the ring, cracking him with the chair, and then the certain guys that came to Cody's aid.
Yeah.
That changes quite a bit of the whole what that match meant.
Yeah, totally. Next, man, this was a barn burner. You got the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid versus the Elite. The Young Bucks were dressed as Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter. I guess Kenny was Akuma.
He was Akuma, but he wasn't all.
He didn't have.
He didn't go all super Akuma. He was still wearing his. And maybe he didn't want to do that because he knew he was going to do something later in the night.
Maybe. How about this? What if the Young Bucks is like, "Hey, Kenny, we got some awesome, cool ring gear. Can't wait to see it. What is it? You have to wait and find out." And then they show up early today. Say, "Check this out. We're Ken and Ryu." And he's like, "Damn it! Fighting games is my thing. Why didn't you tell me?"
And they're not like Nick and Matt aren't super gamers either.
Yeah.
So the fact that they went crazy on the Street Fighter,
and
then he's just like, "What do I do?
What do I do? I got my normal gear.
I just have my normal gear." And then they're like, we can get you some spray can. I will get.
Quick, go to wardrobe. Someone must have some red hair dye. I could be Akuma.
Wait, don't just spray my hair. Make the symbol on my back.
I need a character on my back.
Akuma.
So people know I'm Akuma.
Yes, I'm Akuma. That's awesome.
That'd be funny if that's what it was.
I hope, you know what, maybe that's what it was. They didn't tell him. They didn't run it by him.
Maybe
he's not one of the COOs or whatever. I don't know if he is.
Yeah, he's one of the executive vice presidents.
You
Yeah.
know, they had the meeting. He wasn't
rib.
there.
It's a rib.
It's a rib.
Maybe they explained on being the elite and missed it. I got to really do a better job watching that show. This match was a ton of fun. Again, there's way too much stuff happening during this match to really take note of every little thing. As we've seen with all the various permutations of these gentlemen wrestling, even going back, and I'm happy Excalibur mentioned this, where it was the Lucha Brothers and Flamita taking on the Elite at Bull a couple of years back. I had the privilege of attending that show live in person.
That's awesome.
And it was spectacular.
Yeah.
And mentioning that, Kenny versus Pentagon last year at All In was great. Of course, Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing was fantastic. So expecting anything less than a half-hour thrill ride, and that's exactly what was delivered. Of course, with the Elite dressed as Street Fighter peeps, they had to do the Hadouken spot that Kenny hasn't done in forever.
Yeah.
The craziest bit, though, was Pentagon is in the corner, and he starts waving to Phoenix. Come on over here.
Yeah.
So Phoenix runs, and Pentagon flings him over
Does
his head.
him a big back body drop over the top rope, over the post, landing. Oh, God, he must have been like 11 feet in the air.
It was insane.
Trusting that Nick Jackson is going to be right there for him to base to catch him. And then do more stuff in the match. That, no one's going to tell you, hey, this is what someday you're going to do.
Yeah.
That to me is so much trust.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of body control to be able to make sure you land safely.
I know.
And that was the craziest spot.
Yeah.
That to me was the craziest spot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that went on in this match. Some of the little things I noticed was that was Phoenix's big spot. It looked like Matt took it easy tonight.
Yeah.
He didn't do as much as everybody else. I mean, the beginning of the match, Nick was in there for 6 minutes. It was just him getting beat up by all the Lucha guys.
And then Matt tagged in, hit 5 Northern Light suplexes.
Yeah, that was it. He hit a couple Northern Light suplexes,
Yeah.
and then Kenny took over. I mean, a lot of the matches I've seen them as a team, this wasn't obviously they play their beats, and these guys they always have great matches.
Yeah.
So even when they always have great matches, as fans, you can tell if it's not up to par what they normally do. And it's crazy because I've only seen so many of their matches together, but I could tell that this wasn't the great, and they did some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You could put anybody in there and they can do that, and it's insane. But it's the Young Bucks. I think it's something they got to be careful in the future is how much they do.
Yeah.
Because people are just going to anticipate them doing a lot.
Yeah. And they also always want to see him do more and more.
Exactly, more and more.
If Double or Nothing was when the Top Flight New Japan shows, this wasn't quite house show or road to King of Pro Wrestling at Kurikan Hall.
Yeah.
In terms of the quality of the match, I mean, Kenny Omega, he had his house show. He would call it his house show T-shirt. He would wear during those matches.
Yeah.
Matches that were of little import to him, he'd wear a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a step down in that regard, but it was probably a match that would have been out of place on a mid-level, like King of Pro Wrestling, a mid-level New Japan show.
I think so.
Well, they put on a really good match, but it's not quite at the same level as the Double or Nothing match, or when the Young Bucks and Kota Ibushi took on Mysterio, Phoenix, and Bandito.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
at All In.
Yep.
Which unfortunately they had to cut short.
They had to cut, but still, they did more stuff in that match within the time frame they had.
Blew my mind.
Yeah, insane.
It was absolutely insane. Another crazy bit that Phoenix did is he hit a Spanish fly off the top rope, but not the top turnbuckle.
No, off the top rope. The rope. And that's the part where Nick kind of had to re-step up.
Yeah.
But it's cool because the commentators picked up on that. Oh, that little bit of hesitation allowed Phoenix to hit him with a Spanish fly, which that was cool. Excalibur pointed that out.
Yeah.
So as far as commentary goes, he did a good job of transitioning. That was a mistake that led to this.
Yeah.
That was some good storytelling bits on their part.
In the final two matches, at least, you notice Excalibur taking a lot more of the play-by-play duties.
Yeah.
Which he's excellent at.
Yeah. He was, and he's familiar with all those guys, and it's cool to see him doing more play-by-play, and then you have JR kind of doing more like, what Excalibur, what's going on?
Yeah, adding a little flavor to it.
A little flavor to it. God damn, I would say the same thing.
That spot was great. And then that Spanish Fly, they landed on a couple of dudes on the outside. Laredo Kid was in the match a lot. He had a strong showing. I'm seeing some of his stuff in AAA. He's really good. In the end, it took a V-Trigger, a J-Driller, another V-Trigger, and a One-Winged Angel, all from Kenny to put him away for the victory for the Elite. Fun match.
It was a good match.
Really fun match. Really fun. After that, your main event. We were expecting a bloodbath. We didn't quite get that.
No, but I'm glad it wasn't
that
because they still did stuff that we all see a lot of hardcore matches. At least I've seen quite a few.
Yeah, same.
I'm glad that they saved the big color for Cody.
Yeah.
Because that made what happened to Cody mean more.
Yeah.
If they would have had like a bloody, just ripped apart match, they still did. I mean, they had 2 barbed wire table spots.
Yeah.
They had a barbed wire chair. They had 2 bags of thumbtacks.
Yeah.
They went through chairs. Like, regardless, this was the match that Dean's been dying for.
Yeah.
When this is what he always wanted. And he had that same kind of match when he went against Jericho, and Jericho puts over the 69 thumbtacks that he had in his body.
Yeah, the Asylum match.
Yeah, the Asylum match.
Well, I think that match was like a pale comparison to what this ended up being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, you could see in the way that what I loved about this match is John's finally is in the element. He's out of WWE. They showed his Titantron. They showed his little video thing he put together, which is great because now they tied that in with his character. He comes out. He's out of jail. He's prison break. The way he walks around moving. What I liked is Janela was mimicking his movements in the ring.
Yeah.
He was looking at him, mocking Moxley.
Yeah, he wasn't intimidated by Mox. Because while Dean was in WWE, having to water down his style, he had Janela
doing exactly what he wanted to do.
Getting thrown off warehouse roofs into a truck bed full of light tubes and stuff.
Yeah.
He was the evolution maybe of John Moxley.
Yeah, exactly. Just a different version of the same guy.
Exactly. And this match was, as you mentioned, all the weapons. And that's what I appreciate. These are the hardcore matches I enjoy, where it's not about the amount of the number of pints of blood that's left in the ring. It's about the creativity involved.
Yeah.
And it's not like they reinvented the wheel of the hardcore match here, but just the bit with the thumbtacks and Mox taking off Janela's shoes.
That was great because we all know what it's like to step on a Lego.
Oh man.
Or jam your toe or something.
Yeah.
When you do something, bottom of your foot, you know what that feels like.
Yeah. It
so
sucks.
They did a great job of showing Joey Janela's soft little baby feet. Of all things that he has gotten beaten up,
I wonder
if
he babied those for 2 months.
I guarantee that he
moisturizing,
get baby oil.
He's getting that pumice stone in the shower and getting all those calluses
He gets his Aveeno oil to rub him down before he goes to sleep. He's like, I'm going to get these feet ready because they're going to look TV ready.
Yep.
He had TV ready feet.
Yeah, he did. They looked like they had never
He could be a foot model for all I know.
Yeah. They looked like untouched feet.
Untouched feet, yeah.
Like they had never stepped on anything other than the softest cotton socks inside the finest footwear in the world. Anyways, things really kicked off when a chair was brought into the equation. And Joey hits a swanton, but not on Moxley as intended. It was on a chair, and I believe this was before or after the suplex. I unfortunately didn't make note of this.
Well, he did a Hurricanrana, and Moxley flipped onto the chair on the ground.
Yeah.
And then before that, Moxley stomped on him, and then people were chanting, "You sick fuck."
Yeah. Oh, that was with the barbed wire chair.
Yeah, the barbed wire chair
Yeah,
spot.
he pulls it out in front of the ring, puts on Joey stomps.
I still wish they would have had the barbed wire bat.
I know.
I kind of, they still that's the first time I watched a hardcore match where I was like, man, I want to see him do more and more stuff.
They did a good job of escalating the level of violence
throughout.
Yeah.
They did one thing, then they did another. They built up to it instead of just going straight into all the hardcore shit. They build up to a brawl around the ring, and then eventually they start playing out stuff. That to me was, I think that's where Moxley probably took some of his storytelling from WWE. Yes. And then brought it back here to build things up.
Yeah,
and then eventually the crescendo was having Janela take off having his shoes getting taken off and then like stepping onto the thumbtacks.
Oh, that was rough.
That was
so there was several table spots. They had some tables set up on the outside. At one point, both of them go through the one table set up outside after like a Russian leg sweep off the apron. They both go through it. There's another table in the corner. Mox picks up Joey and just drives him through it. Next, Mox pulls out a barbed wire board from under the ring. But Joey gets the upper hand. He DVDs Mox into the board in the corner. He has to pull himself out of the barbed wire.
Oh my God, that hurt.
Joey pulls a ring out from under the ring, a ladder. Climbs, jumps, hits an elbow, puts Mox through a couple tables that were set up ringside. And then Joey gets the barbed wire board and sets it up between the ring and the barricade. And since he pulled it out in the ring, guess who's going through it?
He is.
Joey is.
Joey is.
Because back in the ring, Moxley hits Dirty Deeds, picks up Janela, and then tosses him out of the ring through the board. It's one thing I noticed about Mox. Every single move he delivers in this match, and kind of the same way with the Juice Robinson match, has purpose.
Yeah.
And there's intensity behind it. Like that X-Plex he did.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
That was violent.
Yeah.
There was stank on
it.
He
wasn't just doing it just to do it. He did it to make sure that he landed somewhere.
Mm-hmm. With force.
With force, yeah.
Which is one thing kind of lacking. Like some of the times the stuff he'd do at WWE, like hit that lariat he'd do where he kind of spring off the rope.
It looked like he just did just to do it.
I know.
But this time, like, everything he did, there was a reason why he was hitting these moves.
Mm-hmm.
He did one thing, boom, soften the guy up, then did another thing, boom.
Yep.
So he would hit the table or the board of barbed wire.
Yeah. So Mox goes under the ring, gets a bucket. Inside bucket is a bag of thumbtacks. So he pours those out, and then he goes over to Joey and kind of keeps him on the mat and starts taking his shoes off. And we see Joey Janela's untouched feet.
Untouched feet.
And at first, Joey kind of evades being dropped on the thumbtacks. Although he has to kind of brace himself, so he steps on one. But Mox picks him up, drops him with an X-Plex on the thumbtacks. Ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
I gotta say, Janela did a great job, and obviously it's real. He did when he was almost about to step at him. Like, you could see how he tiptoe without getting in him, and then by the time he turned around, Moxley.
It was so good. And then Mox picks him up and then drops him feet first right to the thumbtacks. But Mox wasn't done. He goes back to the bucket. There's a second
2 bags,
second sack of thumbtacks.
2 sacks of thumbtacks.
Pours them down, hits the Death Rider, the elevated Dirty Deeds on Janela right into all those thumbtacks. He gets the win.
He has no problem hitting his own back on thumbtacks.
You got a thumbtack in his mouth. What do you do?
That was a great. That was the best shot of the whole night.
Oh, it was.
He does it. One fell in his mouth. He spits out a thumbtack.
He's like, oh, I don't want this in here.
That's great.
Done. Oh, it was so good. And so he wins. He kind of rolls out of the ring, kind of props himself up a little bit. We see Kenny sprinting down the ramp and in one fluid motion jumps and V-triggers Mox.
Giant V-trigger.
Oh, and then so there's still some debris from the table spot earlier. He pile drives Mox on the table, puts another table on top of him, does a springboard double stomp. I like you point this out. He knew exactly where to land, not to crush Mox's face.
Yeah. It's amazing that Kenny can jump over, have it positioned, and just land right where he's not going to kill him. But that just shows that Kenny he's how good he is.
Yeah.
How his body placement is incredible.
It's incredible. So they start brawling. They brawl up beside the ramp up to the little area where the band was set up. And then Kenny decides to start being musical, take some drumsticks.
Starts
hammering on the beat.
Doing the beats on his back.
And then doing the beat on Mox's back, gets the guitar, and plugs it, hits him with it. Electric, not acoustic, mind you. It
didn't break. Which I think he started doing a little guitar. It wasn't air guitar. It was just trying to play.
Yeah. And so after that guitar shot, Kenny seems content. He walks away. There's a couple of rests. They help Mox up. They help him up the ramp. He's like, I don't want you to help me. Pushes him off. And then Kenny runs back down the ramp with the trash can.
Yep.
Pow! Beats him with it. Sets it up on the ramp. Hits the Dirty Deeds on it. He's done. He walks backstage. Final shot of the show, though, is on Mox. Loving every second of it. He is smiling.
He is the happiest he's ever been.
Oh, man.
And it's cool to kind of see his evolution of how he goes on Jericho. He trashes everything he doesn't like WWE. He finally gets to get what he wants. And then despite getting his ass kicked by Kenny in the end, he's happy.
No, he wants more.
He wants more. This
Yeah.
is what he's always wanted, and he just never got. Now he's the happiest guy on the planet.
Totally.
And that makes me happy. That's
Yeah.
like good for him.
Totally.
He gets what he wants.
Yeah.
And what I hope the story they set up is, if he gets what he wants, is it that going to be the thing that like kills him?
Undoing ultimately.
Will that be his undoing ultimately?
Yeah, it could be. Of all the matches going down at All Out, I feel like the Omega Moxley one might
That's
have
the one I really want.
the most intrigue going into it, because you can't really tell going into it who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like whatever happens, it's not going to hurt anyone's stock.
No.
Because Mox is such a superstar and Kenny's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see the match.
Totally.
I don't really care. Just want to watch a really great match.
Totally. Agreed. And we're getting that August 30, whenever it is, 31st.
Labor
I
Day?
think.
Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, Saturday before Labor Day. Next for All Elite, they got Fight for the Fallen. I guess the Cody match is maybe up in the air.
Yeah.
That was probably the main event too.
With the Young Bucks and Cody and his brother.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to be. And that's Fight for the Fallen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's interesting. We'll see. I guess you got to watch Being the Elite to see what the beats they take on that, because, you get Cody can't beat Darby Allin. Then you get Shawn Spears coming out of nowhere, crack him in his head with his chair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what damage is that going to entail? And is Cody going to be able to tag with his brother?
Yeah, in
that's
3
what
weeks.
he always wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, not a perfect show, but entertaining nonetheless.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, what would, as far as like recent shows by like WWE, how would you compare this to like Stomping Grounds?
Oh, this is more entertaining than Stomping
Was this
Grounds.
okay? Cool.
Stomping Grounds was
Because I didn't watch Stomping Grounds. I just watched your guys' like. That's the thing. I don't know, because I only watched highlights, and then you and Steve pick up the pieces.
Like the first. Like, there's a lot of really good matches of Stomping Grounds. Actually, the two worst matches of Stomping Grounds are the last two.
Okay.
Like, before, leading up to that, actually, the show was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the last two matches were meh.
Okay.
I would say this is on par with a decent B-level WWE pay-per-view.
Okay. That's
where you have 2 or 3 really good matches.
Yeah.
A couple really good ones. A couple maybe misfires. But where this may have the advantage over most WWE shows is that this actually advanced at least a couple storylines.
That's the thing that I kind of looked at. And it's
Yeah.
not like the commentator's explaining everything to you. You can kind of just, as a viewer, you can speculate, and then you can kind of get your own analysis.
You can piece it together best you can.
Piece together best, and that's the best thing about wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
About this type of wrestling.
Totally. So yeah, this is on par. And like I said, if this was like a trial run for the TV, I mean, if this is what we expect that TV every week, that's pretty darn good.
That's really good. That's awesome.
Yeah, totally. Cal,
yes,
thank you very much for joining.
Hey, this was kind of a last minute thing.
Totally, I'm happy. I'm really happy you can make it.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I'm like, you know what, dude? I know we had some things planned, but I was like, why not start now? I want to get as acclimated as I can as possible. I know Steve's going to be gone for 2 weeks. You guys, he won't be around for 3 weeks total. So for me to come in and do this early, hey, why not? I want to get used to what's going on.
That shirt's great.
I know it's my Yeti shirt.
It's got a Yeti shirt.
It's got to be
It's
mysterious
fantastic.
like a Yeti.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you, Cal. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll be back Monday.
See you guys Monday.
We'll see you Monday. Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.